Assalamu alaikum. Today's lecture is about Pareto principle and Pareto chart. We will learn in this how a Pareto chart is made, and we will also discuss what is meant by a Pareto principle. So the Pareto principle was given by a well-known Italian economist and sociologist called Vilfredo Pareto, and he gave this principle, which is also known as 80-20 principle. Now, what does 80-20 principle means? This means that it says that for many outcomes or occurrences, almost 80% of consequences or the results arise from 20% of the causes or the problems or the reasons. Now, how we can understand it in another manner? We can understand it like the 80% of the results or the consequences are arising from just 20% of the problems. So the point is here that if we solve those 20% of problems, we can be successfully eradicating or eliminating our 80% of consequences. So that's why this 20% are called as vital few or significant few, because they are so important, because they are so influencing, they have so much impact on your business performance that if we don't address them, if we don't eliminate them, so our 80% of consequences will not go anywhere. Rest, we have 80% of problems, right? Because if we are talking about the 20% of the causes, then 80% of causes are still there. But these 80% of problems are so less in their impact or so light that if we delay them, if we hold them for a period of time, they are not going to influence our business that much or have a bad impact on a business that much. So that's why they are called as insignificant many, and we can delay them. We can sort out them later on. 80-20 rule. We have two things here: significant few, insignificant many. Significant few are the ones we need to address first, and they are mandatory to solve them and to resolve our problems. And insignificant many can be holded on and can be just delayed to resolve and put in last in the number in the list. So that's why we call them insignificant many. They are much in number, but they are not so threatening to your business right now. So the question is when we are going to use this Pareto chart and when it is going to be helpful. The first thing is that when businesses face number of complaints and don't know which ones to resolve first. Suppose manager is receiving a lot of complaints about the restaurant, and there are 10 and 15 in the number, but he don't know that which one to address first. Then this Pareto chart is going to help because it displays the bars in a form of bar chart, and those bars are going in accordance of descending order so that you know which are the heaviest ones and needs attention of the business first. The second is when business want to look for major problem causing things, because this when you put them in a descending order, automatically you would be able to see which ones are the problems that are causing a major impact on your business and which needs to be addressed very first than others. When business is available with primary data in terms of frequency, so definitely many of the restaurants or businesses do collect data from their customer through a questionnaire or in a person. All they do this because to maintain their data and to have some statistical understanding of how their business is performing and which areas need to be improved. So they do collect the data, and you have studied in statistics that the data collected in person or face to face or through a questionnaire is a primary data, and it is always in the form of frequency. So with the frequency you can calculate and you can make a Pareto chart. When you need to present your manager about why certain things are happening, You want to tell your manager in a particular order with a diagrammatic representation, because it's very helpful. If you tell in the words, or if you tell in a story, they won't understand that much, but if you represent them in a form of a diagram or some illustration, they will understand very well. And that's why it will be helpful to them, representing which areas are in a threat and which areas need a delay. When you want to study actions reaction, so this is when you are going to know that why certain things are happening, which things have caused certain reaction of customers to our business, towards our business. So this is going to help in that. The Pareto chart is simply a bar chart. Okay, so there will be two axes, x and y axis, representing the frequency on y axis and representing the problems, the type of the problem on the x axis. So you will know that which bar that you make, the bars that you will make, which bar represents which problem. Now other thing that we will add in there is that it on the right side of the y-axis, on the right side of the bar chart, there will be another line that will be representing the percentage of cumulative frequency. Now this cumulative frequency is going to help us in drawing a line, a trend line, which will be showing us where the 80% of the problem, the consequences are meeting the 20% of the problems. So I will show you in the next slide, next slide. So this slide relates to the problem example. The manager of a neighborhood restaurant is concerned about the smaller number of customers patronizing his eatery. Complaints have been rising, and he would like to find out what issues to address and present the findings in a way his employees can understand. Now simply, there is a restaurant and there's a sudden decline of customers to his restaurant, and he would like to know the complaints. First of all, he would like to know that why these complaints are occurring, and he want to present the complaints in such a manner, the understanding of the complaints in such a manner that his employees get it. Okay, so this is going to be done with the Pareto chart, of course, and the complaint types and frequencies are given. Discourteous server is the first complaint, and 12 people have responded to it. Slow service, and 42 people have responded to it. So you see, this is the maximum number of complaints that the business is receiving. It means that their service is slow. Cold dinner, 5 people have responded. Cramped table, 20% have responded. So cramped means simply a table which is overloaded. So there is not enough space to move around your items or dishes and plates and glass and other things. So cramped table is another problem, which is a huge problem for the business. Atmosphere is given 10, which is responded by 10 people. So now let's see how can we represent. This is a simple bar chart. We have put a maximum frequency. First, suppose the maximum frequency here in the previous slide is 42. Okay, so at the safe side we have put a 550 frequency mark. So we have given the gap of 5 numbers in each frequency. And we have started to make a bars, how to make a bar chart. So bars are represented by the numbers. So this represents 12. Okay, slow service, and how many people have responded to it? 42. Cold dinner, how many people have responded to it? 5. Cramped table, how many people have responded to it? Almost between, let's see here, cramped table is 20, exactly 20, so it's on 20, right? Cramped table is on 20. Atmosphere is on 10. So this is a representation of the bar chart. But we have to, while making a Pareto chart, we have to do a little more effort. What we have to do is to arrange these bars in highest to lowest, right? It means that we have to arrange the bars and the problems in a descending order. We have to move from high to low. So slow service, then the cramped table, then the discourteous server, then the atmosphere, and then the cold dinner. Let's see. Here you see the arrangement is changed. Now the bars are put in accordance of their values from highest to low value. Okay, after doing that, we have to put on a right hand side a line, and we have to make a percentage, total percentage of cumulative frequency. So starting from 0%, giving the equal gaps of 20 in each, and maximum is 100%. So the total of the cumulative frequency percentage is always 100. Right. So now what we have to do is that we have to figure out that where the 80% of the consequences are intersecting this line. So if you see here, let me draw a line. Let me try to draw a line from 80% and here. If we see here, it intersects the line, and I am just making a portion to show you that this portion is the one which comes under the 20% criteria. This is a significant few or vital few which are needed to be addressed first. And you see there are only two problems that are coming in this category of 20%. So we have put the frequency of this 42 and 20, which is of the Grant tables, divided by total frequency multiplied by 100%. So we will get a percentage. What is the percentage? 69.7%. If we approximate that, it will become 70%. So we say that almost these two problems are almost causing the 70% of the problem, and if they are going to be addressed first, then 80% of complaints will be resolved. And rest, if you see the rest of them, discourteous server atmosphere and cold dinner, have no more stronger impact on the business as these two does. So we are going to resolve them first. Now I will tell you that how to create the cumulative frequency in Excel. Here are the complaints. I have put them and along with the frequency, and if you see that the frequency is in a ascending order, but for the cumulative frequency and for the Pareto chart we need to put them in a descending order. So how you can do that? You can simply select this data, right click, go in the sort and select the option largest to smallest. Click sort and you will find that automatically the numbers will be in the descending order and the complaints will also come in the descending order. So now you can calculate the cumulative frequency. So it is always the same for the first one, which is 42, right? And the second one, for calculating the second one, you need to add the first cumulative frequency with the second frequency. So it will give you the answer, and rest you can double click and you will get the answers. And the sum of the frequency will be equal to the last cumulative frequency. So the sum of the frequency is already 89 and the cumulative frequency and result is also 89. So last frequency is 89. Now how you can calculate the cumulative frequency? It's very simple. Is it put in is equals to mark. Take the first cumulative frequency, divide with the last one, and we have to freeze this by putting a dollar sign for every other calculation, and we have to fix the last value so that it will be same for the all of them. So this comes to the 47%. Okay, so if we double click, so this becomes 100% in the last, which is confirming that we have calculated it in a correct manner. And other thing is that I want to add in certain values to it. So 47, 69, 83.1, 94 and 100%. So if you will see in the Pareto chart, the distribution of the values, you are coming back, the distribution of the values here is in accordance with the percentage. So the first one is at the 47.2%. So if we see this one here, so if I mark it, see it is approximately coming to the place of 47 point something, right? The other one from the Excel, if we see, is 69.7%. so look at the other one, it is 69.7%. so let's try to reach and make a line 69.7% approximately. Then the third value that we calculated here is 83.1. so the third value is going to be 83.1 here. Okay, so little bit up, but approximately. So there are the third value of it, right? And this way we have to make a